Tom Allen knows every moment counts. I believe he is watching game film on an iPad. Is that true? That's what I've been
It's
told.
true. It's true.
Anyway, the Hoosiers coach coming off a fabulous season, 6-2 a year ago, heading into season number 5 at IU with a lot coming back. A new defensive coordinator in Charlton Warren, some big-time playmakers, including the reigning Big Ten receiver of the year, Ty Fryfogle, a tackling machine in Micah McFadden. A lot to be excited about in Bloomington, and Tom Allen is joining us right now. And Coach, I asked this of your players a little while ago. I want to get your thoughts from the point of view of a coach. It's a shift in mentality of the way that people are viewing Indiana football right now. You have gone from that proverbial hunter to the hunted. There's no doubt that people count you among the favorites in the Big Ten East and one of the best challengers to Ohio State in that division. I asked the players about how they shift their mindset. I'm curious from the point of view of the coach, and particularly one who has long seen himself and his program as an underdog. How do you shift that mentality?
Well, I think the things that you do every day don't change. You know, the process doesn't change. There might be a different perception from the public and from the media, and we embrace that. You know, we talked about changing the expectations and creating belief in the last several years, and now those are starting to happen. So when those things that you actually wanted to have happen and talked about creating, then now we're going to embrace them. You know, but you don't change who you are. You don't change the process that you've taken to get to that point. And we're a team that plays with a lot of passion, a lot of discipline, a lot of attention to detail in the preparation process. And that, to me, is what we have to continue to do to continue to build our program and elevate our outcomes.
Coach Warren's new defensive coordinator. Tell us about him and why was he a good fit for Indiana?
Well, you said it. Fit, that's the key for me in both recruiting players and recruiting coaches. And I want a coach that believes that you motivate a certain way, that you build relationships, and that's the strength of your program. That's the strength of you as a coach. You care about the young men way beyond the game of football. And he's a very intelligent individual that's extremely bright from a schematic standpoint. He's been able to come in and learn our system. You know, we have a system that we use defensively at Indiana, and he's bought into that, you know, and tremendous leader. I love his leadership qualities. That, to me, he's a leader of men in that side of the ball, and I want him to be the head coach of the defense, the same charge I was given when I came to Indiana many years ago. And so I see those qualities in him.
Got it.
So I'm going to throw this back at you, Rever.
Yeah.
So you asked Coach a question.
Yeah.
How close was it from the players that you talked to? Was it very similar, their response?
I think it was similar. They are acutely aware of it. I mean, I think they know, and I think they embrace it, and that's what they want.
And this is why I asked this, because I always say, right, when the players are repeating what's coming from the front of the room, they've bought in. Yeah. And I think that's an important part of building a program. So now to my question that I got that answered.
That was nerve-wracking.
Tell me about how you guys have used the transfer portal, because you've added a lot of players in that realm.
We have, probably more so than maybe I would have thought in the beginning. But we also had some situations where some guys decided to go to the NFL that maybe we didn't expect to. And when that happened, we felt like we had maybe a little bit of a gap in between a guy that departed and some younger guys that are very talented but maybe not be quite as ready yet. And so to be able to shore up that room in the area of experience and productivity at the Division I level, we went out and found some guys that fit with us that have proven to be able to be effective wherever they came from. And so, but the fit still became the focus. And so we were very, very selective in the guys that we picked in the portal to be able to come and help us continue to elevate our program.
Related to that same question, Coach, right now you're 21st in the country in your next class and 5th in the conference in recruiting. Everybody works hard in recruiting. I'm sure that's part of it. But how have you recruited to that level? Because it's gotten better every year you've recruited.
Well, just continue to build off of the things I believe in, you know, and now the things that you were telling recruits and their families, this is what we believe we can do. We're now saying, this is what we just did. And I think that resonates. And the message hasn't changed. You know, I believe what I believe. Accountability, toughness, and love are still the 3 pillars of our program. They will always be the pillars of our program. LEO is the brand that we're always going to talk about that encompasses everything I believe in as a coach. That when the players know you love more as an individual person than as a football player, things change. And so that is not going to change. And so to me, you go out in those homes and you're saying, hey, this is what we brought here, believing these guys are making this a reality, and you can come and be a part of this and help us continue to build Indiana football.
How have you seen your quarterback grown? He's gone through some adversity.
He has.
But how have you seen him grow to this point?
You know, adversity is an interesting thing. You know, nobody wants it, but man, it makes us who we are. You know, and it creates grit. And grit is probably the biggest quality we all need to be great in this life. And so, man, Michael's been through a lot. Man, I just, you know, when I think about the injury this year, I already knew he'd been through these last several years. And just to know that, my goodness, here we go again. And just the deflation of that moment. But you know what? Man, he didn't blink. And he just came fighting back, and he never felt sorry for himself. And so he's just grown to be able to handle adversity, and he's physically grown, and he's worked so hard, and there's just a maturity to him. And I just want to see him be able to go out there and have a successful, healthy season and help lead his team to great things.
We've talked to most of the coaches about the change in preseason camp and the less contact. Most guys are okay with it. How do you feel about this?
Well, here's the thing. Interesting. We went through and matched the new calendar that they've mandated, and it was almost identical what we've done the last 2 years.
Good.
So I feel like we're already right where we need to be.
Great.
So I feel very comfortable with what they've set out, and that we can be able to maximize and get ready to play.
You talked about Chase being the word, the one
right.
word. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, so here's where I came to. So you finished the 2020 season, did a lot of great things. We didn't finish the way we wanted to. So you come back from the bowl game, and I'm going through and thinking about, okay, what does this program need to get us to the next level? And so Chase just kept me. I read a book called Chase the Line. All right, and so I put that definition for Chase up on the board in that first meeting. It's an intense, a frenzied or intense conviction about something that you really want and believe in. And so to me, that is what I want. I want us to every single day to chase after greatness in our lives. So I had our players give me 9 things. All right, they had to give me 3 things personally, 3 things academically, and 3 things in football where they're going to chase greatness every single day to elevate this program, because it starts one player at a time. So I met with our guys one-on-one, write those 9 things down, keep my computer, hold them accountable for those 9 things every single day. Because to me, we're not just going to be better because we're a year older. We got a whole bunch of guys back. We had a great 2020 season. We're going to be better because we're chasing greatness every single day.
Aside from the football chase, the other comments, was there a general theme about the other parts of their lives that they were chasing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the guys, they wanted to be able to become a better person off the field. They want to be more disciplined in their daily lives. They want to be able to do a better job of managing their diets and their sleep. They want to do a better job of finding ways to improve their mental health. And I think because of coming out of the pandemic, that was a big struggle for a lot of guys. And so we had a chance to work on things like that and have a plan to be able to grow as a man. Because to me, as a man thinks, so is he. It's what I fill our minds with. And our guys have bought into that. Gave a bunch of guys books to read, a lot of things to be able to go through to improve themselves as a man.
One of the things that we've learned and seen going through this pandemic is that student athletes have found their voice. And how have you been able to echo their voices and hear them as a staff and as a community in Bloomington?
Well, we have a leadership council, which has 25 guys on it. It's made up of our entire team, and it's a cross-section of each position. And I listen to those guys, and we talk about a lot of things. And I think, to me, there's power when they know that you value what they have to say. And so, to me, I think that's the key, is to give them a platform to be able to come, when that could be one-on-one, but it also could be in that group as well. And they have the understanding that, man, coach is going to listen to us. Doesn't always do exactly what they may recommend, but we're going to listen. And we're going to have a great discussion about the whys behind the decisions that we make.
Tom, you were talking about greatness and chasing greatness.
Yeah.
How do you measure greatness on the field? Like, what's great for Indiana football? How will you know when you've achieved it?
Win the Big Ten. And
Period.
To me, that's the goal. And so I've really not backed away from that since I've come to Indiana. And I understand that it's a challenging goal to have. And not everybody agrees that every team has the ability to do that. And I get it. It's tough. There's no question. But in my mind, you have that goal out there, and you chase after it every single day.
So is that part of the goal harder ahead of you or behind you? In other words, you've brought it here. Which is the harder segment?
I think the next step
Closing
is the hardest one, without question. But you don't back away from it.
Right.
Because that's always been, because I'm real big in vision, mindset, grit. okay? And the vision is set clearly of what that is. And then you develop the mindset, and then you have the daily grit to get you there. So to me, that's everything is in threes, everything is concrete, sequential that we work through, but that's where it all begins.
This last time, I'm going to take you back to last year, but you guys put together such an incredible season. How frustrated was it not to be able to share that with the fan base?
Wow. Amazingly frustrating, because you just think, and I've got so many emails, I got so many, letters, I got so many, texts where people were just like, man, I've waited a lifetime to see Indiana and see our team do what you guys just did, and I didn't get a chance to be there. So that was the tough part. You wish they could have been there storming the field with us, tearing the goalpost down on maybe a couple of those games. And so, but you know what? We can't control any of that. But yeah, that definitely was difficult.
What do you make of the opener against Iowa? It's going to be a massive game.
Yes.
A game that's going to be on the Big Ten Network.
That's one place I've never coached.
Really?
No,
really?
Never coached. We played them only once since I've been here, and we played it at home. So I've never coached in Iowa City, at Iowa. So
you're going to love it.
Yes. I tell you, it's going to be a tremendous challenge. A great opportunity. Coach Farron's done a phenomenal job, and they got a great football team. So start the season out at a tremendous place.
You like this trend, starting with conference games?
Well, I've had 3 out of my last 5 years as head coach start the season, against a Big Ten team, and so it makes it difficult for sure, but I love the attention to detail. I love the heightened sense of urgency that is created when you play a conference team right out of the gate.
It's also a record. No one else can say that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else can say that. Seriously.
Well, no
3
one
of 5,
currently coaches. Back in
3
the
of
day,
5.
they did it all the time, but you don't want to know about that.
Yeah. I'm talking about recent history, Refson.
All right. Tom Allen, head coach of the Hoosiers. Coach, it is always such a pleasure to visit with you. Thanks for taking the time. We look forward to watching you guys in camp.
Well, appreciate it. Awesome.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom.
Yeah, Leo.
Among the shorter journeys to Big Ten Media Days, that of Indiana, but they came prepared. Indiana's Ty Fryfogle in the lead for best dressed at Media Day so far, at least according to one opiner, the Ty Fry chain and everything cited here. Ty Fryfogle joining us on our set along with quarterback Michael Penix and linebacker Micah McFadden. And my first question here is there agreement on this set that he's even the best dressed guy on the set, right? I mean, Michael, you have anything to say about that? Micah?
100%. I think he's definitely best dressed.
You think he's best dressed? You do too, Michael?
Yeah, that's my guy. I get to him.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure everyone's conceding, right? All right. Now, do you have multiple get-ups like this, or is this this is the go-to one?
I feel like, whenever you do something, you just got to go all out, Just give it your all, no matter what. Football, dressing up, whatever you're doing, just go all out.
That's good advice for life. As you guys come away from last year, it was successful really by any measure. But by the measure of the Indiana program historically, this was one of the great years in the history of Hoosier football. You tied the record for the most conference wins ever. You were so close after a great comeback against Ohio State, and yet then ultimately you didn't get the chance to play in the Big Ten championship game because of that loss to the Buckeyes and fell short in the bowl game. Right. So as you look at it, Micah, and as you try to assess last year, how do you categorize what happened? Was it a success? Was it not quite what you wanted? How do you put it in perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I think like you said, we had a great season. There was definitely some things that we could have capitalized on, a few games where we fell short, like you were saying, but all in all, I think it was something to build off of and something to be proud of for sure.
Michael?
Yeah, same thing. Like Micah said, it's definitely something to be proud of. It just show what we're capable of. Something that we already know. We got a lot of guys that come in, work extremely hard every day, and I feel like we deserve to have a season like that, and we're definitely looking forward to having it again this year.
Ty, how would you describe last year?
For sure, the same as they said, a bunch of good and bad things to build off of from last season. A bunch of things you could look back on and we could get better at, things we could have done different. But all in all, I think it was a really good season last year.
There is no doubt, though, now you guys come in here with people looking at you differently than historically they have looked at this program. You are, in my opinion, among the hunted now, right? In the kind of normal mindset of Indiana, I think historically has been to be the hunter, to be the ones trying to garner the respect. Now you've got the respect. How does that change your mentality, Ty, coming into this year, knowing people are gunning for you?
It's just you got to keep the same chip on your shoulder, just take each day one day at a time, get 1% better each and every day and just focus one day at a time, getting better each and every day.
When we talk about last year, I think one of the moments that jumps into everyone's mind right away, Michael, is that very last play. You were smiling before I even said it. You knew where I was going.
Yes, sir.
The very last play, the 2-point conversion against Penn State, and you just think about, we talk about football being a game of inches.
Right.
It's a game of millimeters, right? This play, and you think about what it meant for your season, to a certain extent what it meant for their season, right? It took them a long time to recover from that. Take us through what was going through your mind at that last moment as you made the dive for the pylon.
Yeah, it was very exciting. Definitely. There was just a lot going on. I was just very excited for the team, to get a big win. They were a top 10 team that coming in week 1. Coming out with that win, I feel like it definitely helped shade our season. It just showed what we can do, what we're capable of. It just allowed all of us to have that confidence and continue to push each other just to be great.
How many times have you watched it back?
I watched it back. Not enough. I try to move on.
20, 100?
Yeah. Nah.
You don't want to give me
I moved on now. It's just whenever
I've probably watched it about 50 times, conservatively. We showed a lot, right?
Right.
It really was one of the defining plays of last season. And as you guys think back to that moment and what it meant for your program, and you guys are aware of the history, particularly against those top teams in the East, against Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, a lack of success for Indiana. What did it mean in that very first game, Micah, to kind of get one of those monkeys off your back and to say we belong and we can do this, and we just beat one of the elite teams in college football?
Yeah, going into my senior year, I've definitely been here through quite a few of those games where we just felt a little bit short, and it could have made the difference for having a bigger season. And with Mike making that play, and how we performed throughout the rest of the season, it really kickstart everybody on the team, and just everybody's really excited after that to continue throughout.
So what's the next step for this program?
I think like the guys have been saying, we just keep taking it 1 week at a time, one game at a time, and we'll see where it takes us, but we're definitely confident and excited for this year.
One of the things that comes to my mind as I think about what's next for Hoosier football is bowl games. You guys haven't won a bowl game since 1991. It's the longest drought in Power 5 football. What would it mean to break that streak this year, Michael?
Yeah, it'll mean a lot. We definitely been putting a lot of work in this offseason. We got a lot of young guys, stepping up, taking full advantage of every opportunity they're getting. And, we got older guys like us, we're making sure that we push those guys. We push each other, so that we can come out and win those games like that. I feel like, it's just a matter of finishing. We just got to stick together all the way through and just make sure that we push each other to be great.
Is that a rallying point for you at all, Ty? For instance, there was a time, I guess it was probably 7-8 years ago, where Northwestern hadn't won a bowl game since the 1940s, and they kept going to bowl games and losing them. And it was something they talked about every year at media days. They said, we're talking about not just getting to a bowl, but winning it. And now they're on a great streak of winning bowl games. Is it something you guys have talked through, or is it more a media talking point?
It's on our mind every day. We want to win every game possible on our schedule. And, I feel like that winning a bowl game would mean a lot to the fan base, the university. Just it'll give them something to be proud about,
The one thing I love about this program, or one of the things I love, I should say, is Coach Allen, every year, each one of you guys has to come up with one word that is kind of your touchstone throughout the year that you go back to describe what's ahead for you and what you're going to prioritize. And every year at Media Days, I always ask each one of the Indiana players who comes what their word is, because I'm fascinated by it. So I want you guys to go down. Ty, we can start with you. Tell us what your word is and why you chose that word.
I chose consistency, because I want to be just a consistent player day in, day out, be the same guy. You have off days where you don't do as good as the ones before, but I just want to be a consistent football player and just a consistent guy my teammates can depend on, and quarterback, coaches, everybody can just trust. Consistency.
Michael?
Yeah, my one word this year is believe. I chose that word simply because, I've had setbacks, throughout my career. But, as long as I continue to believe that, God has a plan for me, everything happens for a reason. I just continue to keep pushing, with guys like Micah and Ty, I got a lot of guys in my corner, continue to push me, keep me positive. I have my family as well. They continue to push me. And then the trainers here at Indiana, they're great. They continue to make sure that I come out every day, every morning. I'm working extremely hard. They don't let me cut anything short because they know how much it means to me.
Micah?
Yeah, my one word is excel. And, kind of like we've been talking about earlier, it's just, it's about being good every single day and bringing it every single day. And I think, for me specifically, it's just attacking every aspect of my game and, bringing it for my teammates, being a great leader on and off the field. So,
Michael, you mentioned the injury issues that you've had, and I was talking about this with Coach Allen earlier. What can one do if they have had these injury issues? How do you kind of go about enter into a season and say, hey, I'm going to play full out, and part of your game, of course, is running the football and making plays outside of the pocket. What's kind of the balancing act for you of wanting to be the most aggressive player you can be and trying to avoid a season-ending injury?
Yeah, when it comes to injuries, things happen. Obviously things happen. It can happen to anybody. I don't wish that on anybody, obviously, but I just got to control what I can control. As long as I continue to push myself. I got these guys behind me. Keep me positive. So when I go out there and play, I go out there and play, have fun. I don't think about the injuries. It don't matter what happened the year before. I focus on what's going on right then and there.
Did you take a different physical approach this offseason?
No. I'm same approach. After my first year, it was probably some weight concern. I got my weight up, and I'm feeling real healthy right now. So I feel like I'm good where I am right now, and I just got to continue to keep pushing.
Micah was flipping through your social media. It looks like you had an interesting trip this summer. Tell us about your safari.
Yeah, definitely. So I got to go to Kenya, Africa. One of my dad's good buddies is a National Geographic photographer. And
wow.
So we got to, attend a lot of safari trips, and I took some of these photos myself. But, it was just awesome to visit that and meet the people there and spend an awesome time.
How long were you on the safari?
I spent about 10 days, and we kind of hit 2 different parks throughout Kenya. So it was really cool, yeah.
What stood out to you the most, aside from the beauty of the animals?
I'd say just the generosity and the hospitality of the people there. It's kind of different going to a different country, and especially with COVID going on, but everybody's so, honest and genuine throughout the whole trip. So it was really cool to be a part.
I want to ask you really quickly, new defensive coordinator in Charlton Warren, what should we expect from the Hoosier defense?
Yeah, no, I think, he's doing a great job just leading the guys and coming in and getting used to our scheme and whatnot. So I think it'll be a great season, and he's just he's a cool, awesome coach that everybody's really excited to play for. What was this new D like to go against in the spring? Interested in each of your opinions. Michael?
The defense looks good. We've seen it last year. We're going to continue to see it. Coach Warren, he's been doing real good. They have a few different things going on, but on the offensive side of the ball, we handle our business, but they look real good.
You're not willing to concede anything to the defense. Ty, what about from your point of view?
Really, really good defensive team. They fly around. They create a lot of takeaways, create a lot of turnovers. They make us better each and every day in practice, and that's what I appreciate the most.
Well, guys, congratulations on a tremendous season last year. Really looking forward to seeing what the Hoosiers have in store for us this season. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.